Welcome to the 16th Annual San Diego AMA Cause Conference. Thank you all so much for being here. Today is going to be an action-packed day, so without further ado, let's get started.
This year it's all about purpose-driven leaders coming together to create massive collaboration. And the theme of transformation through collaboration portends this opportunity for all of us to collectively make a difference.
San Diego has reached a point in its growth where it's time. It's time for community leaders, for thought and program leaders to come together and create synergies.
The past 16 years of the Cause Conference, the past 100 years of this town have got us to this point where we've kind of wrapped our heads around where we should be going. And now is kind of a jump off point where the world's our oyster, we can do anything.
Having the lens focus on our region was purposeful. You know, there are so many amazing minds and passionate hearts that are driving change, striving for change within this region.
The social good community in San Diego right now is really linking to business in an important way that hasn't happened in a long time.
There are almost 13,000 nonprofits in the county alone, and that tells me two things: that there are a lot of big-hearted San Diegans and there are a lot of duplicated efforts.
I would like to see more nonprofits collaborating. We talk about it, it's a big buzzword in our industry in the social sector, but I'm not seeing enough of it happen.
We can't just be sitting here on our high horses as adults and not engaging the next generation. They need to be part of it, they need to be part of the conversation, they need to see that our words and our actions line up.
I'm hoping that we see the importance of turning those adversities into opportunities.
So the power of this is not dismissing everything that's come before us. The sound science, the thoughtful leadership, the fundamentals of management, these have all been foundational stones that get us to this magic moment in time. The big step, the next step, the best step is to build upon that and incorporate this empathy, this human aspect of it.
It's not just about going about your business in an inspiring way. It's not just about making the world better in a variety of ways. It's about figuring out what you uniquely as a leader and those who you inspire are best positioned to do to make a difference in the world.
Leadership is not strictly an intellectual kind of a pursuit. It's really an act of the heart. As I'm fond of saying, if I could be so presumptuous as to quote myself, do what you love in the service of people who love what you do.
It's all about inspiration, ideation, and implementation. It's this notion that strategic planning, the historic model of how one thinks and practices in business, is really antiquated. And what you really need to do is fail fast, fail forward, learn from your failure. If you learn from your failure, there's no failure, there's only feedback.
So this is a way to potentially see the needle move a little bit, or maybe even a lot, as we connect some of the most inspiring leaders and community members to work together collaboratively.
For the first time, we're getting purpose-driven leaders of all stripes: encore careers, social entrepreneurs, business leaders, best-selling authors, nonprofit leaders. We're all going to come together and make a huge difference for our community, making this America's kindest region and making a difference for our community and stakeholders.
Radical collaboration, to me, is something that happens when you bring people together that are passionate about something that they believe in. They're passionate about a purpose. And if you start with that kind of raw material and put the right people together in the right room and give them the right environment, incredible things can happen.
This year's conference, as I look back and how it's compared to others, it's like the whole bar has been raised. The concept of leadership, ideation, social capital, of government agencies, corporations, nonprofits, on how they can work better together.
This conference, just like our world, has evolved from a focus on causes to a focus on purpose. And the difference is a cause might be something you care about: homeless children, cancer, the environment, but your purpose is how you are uniquely able to solve that problem. Radical transformation and radical collaboration, we hope, will happen today through work groups and facilitated learnings and things that are beyond a normal sit and get. We want this day to transform and move forward what you do every day.
if we can be compassionate, if we can be empathetic, if we can understand the whole person, if we can bring ourselves to work, not just our kids to work once a year, we're much more likely to create an environment where we can foster growth and make a difference.
What's really critical, I think, for leaders in the 21st century in this sort of social world in which we live is the understanding of the importance and the power of relationships. But that's not just a tagline. It has to be genuine. And so really being in touch with the purpose, our own sense of mission, our own sense of values, what's important to us and others in which we work, and having conversations about that, that's the work of leadership in the 21st century. No longer can we hide behind the desk or the budget sheet or any number of the technical areas in which we have done and hidden behind for so long. We need to be out in front building relationships, connecting with people, being empathetic, understanding that it's about trust and compassion and kindness. It is those ideas that are going to make the biggest difference for leaders. So if that's the one thing I could say to leaders, it's become more in touch, not with somebody else outside, not some guru, but more in touch with your own humanity. And that's what I think makes the biggest difference for leadership in the 21st century.